I'm with the dart frog department here at Josh's Frogs, and if you're wondering, how often should I feed my dart frogs? That's why I'm here. So first off, we have our large darts, which would include your Dendrobates, Tinctorius, Auratus, or frogs such as Phyllobates. And for the adults, you're going to want to feed them 3 times per week, and then for the juveniles, you're going to want to feed them about 5 times per week. And for good feeders, large dart frogs won't eat anything that's any insect or arthropod over 1/8 of an inch. So good staple feeders would include melanogaster fruit flies, Heidi fruit flies, pinhead to 1/8 inch crickets, and springtails. So if you have springtails in your bioactive setup, which you should, they will munch on those. In terms of how much you should be feeding your dart frogs, for adults, you're going to want to feed them 30 to 50 melanogasters 3 times a week, and then you're going to want to feed your juveniles about 10 to 25 melanogasters 5 times a week. And I would consider an adult dart frog anything that's over 1 inch, and a juvenile anything that's under 1 inch. For thumbnails, which would include your Ophaga, your Ranitomea, Epipetabates, and such, you are going to want to feed them just the same as the large dart. For the adults, you're going to want to be feeding them about 10 to 25 melanogasters per feeding per frog, and then for the juveniles, you're going to want to feed them 5 to 10 melanogasters per frog. Now with thumbnails, obviously they're much smaller, so you're not going to want to give them anything larger than a melanogaster. However, they will snack on springtails a lot. So if you have a really healthy springtail population in your vivarium, they're really going to benefit from that, especially as froglets. Here at Josh's Frogs, we actually give springtails as a feeder for our juvenile thumbnails, and that really helps bulk them up if fruit flies are too annoying or are just too big for them to eat when they're really young. And then, so if you're feeding the right amount but your frogs still seem to be a little bit unhealthy, I want to just go over general body composition and how to identify it. An under-eating dart frog is most likely going to show it's thinning out in its abdomen area. It's going to be more concave or thinning out rather than having a nice chunky tummy. And then the thighs of their back legs are going to be more of a straight line rather than a wedge shape, where a wedge shape is nice and healthy. An under-eating frog is most likely under-eating because it's either being bullied or it is having over-competition in the tank with its tank mates, or possibly you could be overfeeding. In terms of bullying, it can happen a lot of times between females, and so if they get a bit aggressive with each other, that then plays into over-competition, and so they're not gonna really allow one of the frogs to eat. And then in terms of overfeeding, actually if you are feeding too much, the frog does not like that, and he's gonna get irritated and then just eat less and have a lower body composition. If you do have a frog with a lower body composition, you're gonna wanna separate it from its tank mates, or say put it in a smaller container that meets the same criteria as a healthy vivarium. And you're gonna wanna feed it by itself for say a week, monitor it, see how it's taking and if it's chunking up a bit, and then feel free to reintroduce it to its tank if it is healthy again. If issues persist with body composition after you reintroduce it, after you've separated it, you may want to consider removing it from that vivarium with those frog mates, because they probably just don't like each other very much and you're going to have reoccurring issues. So now I'm just going to show you how I would typically feed our dart frogs. I find this to be the easiest way to get the fruit flies out without them crawling all over the place. And then for our adults, the daily supplement is calcium with vitamin D3. If you are not sure how many fruit flies you're feeding because they're so darn small, when I put them in the little cup, I like to tap them out slowly, so then you can sort of guess by fives how many you're tapping out of your cup for them to eat. And then I've got the little juveniles here. So now you know more about how often to feed your dart frogs, how to monitor their body composition, and I hope you can enjoy your nice healthy frogs and be able to see how they're doing a little bit better in their vivarium.
Thanks so much for watching this video. Here at Josh's Frogs, bringing nature to your doorstep is more than just our mission, it's our passion. We want you to have the most successful experience possible, so we're going to be here for you before, during, and after your purchase, whether that's with our captive bred animals, plants, insects, or the wide variety of their care products on our website. You always have access to our dedicated customer service team, on-site nature experts, hundreds of free articles via our blog, and many more videos right here on our YouTube channel, so be sure to subscribe. We're always happy to help. Just shoot us an email or give us a call. You can find all of this information and more at joshsfrogs.com. Thanks again, and see you next time.